Everyone, it's Wednesday, I'm Martin, and this is your midweek dose of Newsround. Here's what we've got coming up today. We meet the family who are living off the land. Plus, find out what's so special about this year's Brit Awards. But first today, we're heading to a story that a lot of you have been talking about over on the Newsround website. It's about the Prime Minister, who is facing questions at the moment over the money he's spent on decorating his flat and where it came from. So what's going on? Here's Jenny with more info.
Now, when you want to do up your bedroom, it's easy to dream big. Fancy bed, new TV, cool speaker. Yeah, nice. Until your parents ask you where you think the money for all that is coming from. But there's a redecoration job that has caused problems right at the top of British politics, which got Newsround thinking, what? How? So you probably know Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of the UK. All Prime Ministers get to live in a flat in Downing Street in London, where the UK government is based. It comes with a job, and they get £30,000 a year to spend on decorating it the way they like. But now it's claimed that Mr Johnson has spent at least £100,000 on decorations. Why does it matter? Well, Boris Johnson says he's now paid for the redecoration himself, but we don't know whether someone else paid for it originally. Politicians have to be open about where their cash comes from, and Prime Ministers are not expected to take favours from people. And if it seems Boris Johnson might have been given money to get the flat done up, then that could be a problem for him.
Well, as I mentioned, so many of you left your comments about this story. Here's just a few. First up, Pizza Me said, even though me and my family are against Boris Johnson's actions, I think it's a bit silly that he's getting in trouble for decorating his own flat. Lilac Swimmer Panda said, I do think that Boris tried his best during COVID. It must be very hard to make all these decisions when we've never been through something like this and we're not expecting it. Fluffy Sausage Dog thinks there is too much drama with people in control of the country. Why can't they stop bickering like children? Aren't us kids meant to look up to them as inspirational figures? And BP Fan said, I wonder what the results will be. I'm pretty sure that Boris Johnson is innocent. Thank you very much for those comments, guys. And remember, if you want to know more about this story and join in this and other conversations, you can do so now on the Newsround website. Next, have you ever heard of self-sufficient living? Well, it's when you don't need outside help for your basic living needs. You can grow your own food, create your own heat and electricity. Sounds hard, but there's lots of innovative ways to make it easier, and it's great for the environment. We went to meet Elsa and her family to see how they live off the land on the farm.
Hi, my name's Elsa, and welcome to my eco home. Let's just go and have a look around. This is Biff the biodigester. He turns food waste into methane. We use the methane for cooking. This is where we put the food waste in.
Should we feed the biodigester?
Job done. This is the washing machine that we made ourselves. We put soap, nuts and hot water in, and our clothes. The way we live is good for the environment because we are self-sufficient. This is my home. My mummy and daddy built a cabin on the back of 2 horse trailers. We also use a horse box for our living room. It only took 2 weeks to get the cabin built. Welcome to the poo with the view. This is the compost toilet. Once we've used it, we put bracken in it, and then when it's full, it turns into compost, and then we can put that compost on our fruit trees. Let me show you why it's called the poo with the view. We also keep chickens for their eggs. The environment's important to me because I want to protect animals and where they live. Bye, Newsround!
Well, that poo with a view certainly does have a view, doesn't it? Thanks very much to Elsa and her family for that. Next, homeschooling has been a big part of the last year. But a new report shows that when schools have been shut, 1 in 5 of you have not always had access to a device for online learning. That's according to the media regulator Ofcom, which looks at things like internet use. They say almost all school-aged children have access to the internet at home, but for some, that's only through a smartphone, with many not having a suitable device for school work, often having to share. Next, we have an energy-efficient catamaran, an 11-year-old activist from Colombia, and some totally natural music, dude. It's your planet.
This week on Your Planet, we'll look at ways people marked April's Earth Day, a special day to celebrate our planet and draw attention to the need to look after it. Starting in the US, we'll head to California, where a giant catamaran, the Energy Observer, the first round-the-world hydrogen-powered sea vessel, arrived in Long Beach. The 30-metre-long catamaran is entirely self-sufficient, producing its own hydrogen on board, with solar, wind power and hydropower, demonstrating that clean energies can be accessible to everyone. Next to Colombia in South America to meet 11-year-old Francisco, who is on a mission. The young Colombian environmentalist and his fellow climate activists marked Earth Day by planting hundreds of trees in cities across Colombia to raise awareness of the climate crisis. Finally to the UK, where a British composer has captured sounds of nature around the world and put them together to make music. Ted White has taken recordings ranging from raging rivers to thunderstorms and mixed them with music he composed, inspired by his travels. He has made 7 albums called Mindfulness Nature, each dedicated to a continent. Well, that's it for this week. See you next time.
Cheers, Jenny. Last wee thing before we finish up this morning. The Brit Awards will take place at London's O2 Arena on the 11th of May, and organisers have come up with something pretty cool this year. A special double trophy will allow Brit winners to reward someone with their very own Brit. They can give it to anyone. Parents, best pal, even their pet. I mean, why not, eh? I'd give mine to my mum because I think if I didn't, I'd be in trouble. So I would. Anyway, that's all we have time for this morning. But remember, there's loads more on our website, including what space junk is and why it's a problem, and the mystery of the T-Rex jaw that's been revealed. Make sure you check all that out. Bye-bye.